all know quite a number of people who have everything that it would take to be happy, and they are not happy because they want something else or they want more of the same. And we all know people who have lots of misfortune and they are deeply happy. They radiate happiness. Why? Because they're grateful.
Actually, Lucy, my trouble is Christmas. I just don't understand it. Instead of feeling happy, I feel sort of let down.
I know how you feel about all this Christmas business, getting depressed and all that. It happens to me every year.
Hello, guys. Merry Christmas Eve.
I never get what I really want. What is it you want?
Hey, Makawaka. Good to see you. I will keep chatting with you on Discord after the stream. I saw that you messaged me and I did not check it yet. But I hope you are well. And it is crazy that today is Christmas Eve to me. So last year at this time, Sam and I, we moved out of Vancouver on the 26th of December. So we are just coming up to 1 year being on Vancouver Island, and I've been doing like a lot of reflecting about what's happened in the last year and where life has taken me. And this stream is also coming up to 1 year. In the middle of January is when I started it last year. So that is insane to me, guys. So I just want to say like a quick thank you to the couple of people that are in here. Never thought I would be here, to be honest. But this is such a cool outlet to be able to share creativity with you guys. Like, yeah, working in a restaurant is fun and all, but you don't have that much freedom unless it's your own restaurant and you're the chef. Like, yes, I get to cook the food and make it taste awesome, but I'm still cooking the food to how chef wants it cooked and flavored. But at least I'm learning a lot. But this way, being at home and with you guys, I get to share my own opinions and how I think food should be prepared. And that is really cool for me. Maka Waka, thank you for the 300 bits for charity. Holy smokes. We're up to $333,000 raised for direct relief. In what was it, 17 days? Thank you so much for that. And welcome in, Chuckles. Thanks for the follow. Okay, so today, nothing too crazy going on stream. Not even really cooking too much. We're gonna be doing some baking. So I have some old brown bananas that we had to use up, and I decided to make a banana cake or some muffins with it, which is always a good go-to. So once those bananas turn brown, do not throw them out. They still have a use. Aw, thanks, Maka Waka. Yeah, I am really happy to be able to create a positive space for people, even if you're not interested in cooking. If you feel like this is a safe place for you, please don't ever leave, because that's hard for people to find. And I'm like an introvert extrovert, so this is perfect for me. Because like I am terrible in big groups of people and like trying to communicate and be myself. So I find that doing it this way, I get to communicate with a lot of you guys, but I'm not directly in front of you. I don't see you, so it's not as scary to me. But straight up, I think now that I kind of got to know all of you guys, if we were to meet in person, would not be a scary thing. But like, I totally get awkward in large groups of people. I don't really know what to do with myself. I definitely am a little bit of a weirdo in that aspect. So for me to also have a safe place to be with a lot of people at once and teach them all is perfect. Merry Christmas, Bachelor Life. Holy smokes, man. I actually was wondering what happened to you. Have you been streaming lately? Or are you taking a little break? Okay, so we can say that we're doing a little bit of baking today for Santa. I know typically people just give out cookies, but why limit it to cookies? So we're gonna be baking some muffins today. And then I know Santa would like this. I am sure Santa would indulge in a little homemade Irish cream as well. I mean, not too much though, because he still has to drive the sleigh, but just a little sip of Irish cream, homemade. Hopefully it's gonna be better than Bailey's. You've tried streaming, it's a lot of pressure with the camera on and people staring at you. Oh man. I went back the other day and watched like my first couple of streams. Terrible. So bad. I was so awkward. I did not know what to do, but definitely have grown. You guys you push me to constantly like come out of my shell and not hide. They are saved, yeah. So I upload onto YouTube, Maka Waka, my past VODs. I was really bad the past couple of months when it got super crazy with work with uploading the past VODs, but I think the first like 6 to 7 months are uploaded on my YouTube, which is this, if you want to check it out. Really, really funny. And then there's also, so last Christmas on the island is when I kind of started to play around with the cameras and like figuring out if I wanted to stream. So I did a Christmas episode of dinner last year, and I actually edited it all up through YouTube and stuff like that. So feel free to check that out because it's actually pretty entertaining. It took me quite a bit to edit, and that's when I kind of got away from the YouTube idea and went towards streaming. Just because having to work a job that I work like 60 hours a week, there's not too much time otherwise to like edit my videos up and make them all nice. So just doing it live is so much easier for me. Okay, and then we're also getting into the dehydrator today, you guys. So with those little bit of leftover Meyer lemons that we had from yesterday, we're gonna dry them out because apparently that's a really good way to preserve them. So in my mind, dehydrating stuff is almost like the most perfect way to preserve something because you're just taking the moisture out. You're not actually taking any of the flavor out. But I could be wrong, but in my mind, that's how it works. So I'm excited to dry some lemons and see how this dehydrator works. But you know what? I guess Makawaka, YouTube has like a live stream function now. So it's basically the same thing as Twitch, which is, but they did that after Twitch. So they're just trying to like keep up with Twitch now, I feel. But still, like, it's too hard for me to try and build a following on YouTube now that I have all of you guys on Twitch here. And then the other thing that I'm actually looking at right now and setting up is Patreon. Is someone got me onto the Patreon thing, so I'm checking that out and seeing what it is. And that might be a little bit kind of different content as well. I'm gonna try and do a couple different things coming up in the new year now that I got like my streamer shoes all warmed up. Gotta keep you guys entertained. Hey, Revolving Potato. Merry Christmas. Ho, ho, ho. I guess I should get this on. I tried to go like all red and white theme for you guys here, so I pulled out the old school apron. This was like one of the first aprons I ever got from my good friend Will, who makes my aprons for me, and it's still like pretty new. I wore this, let's say 5 to 6 days a week in a kitchen working like 8 to 10 hours, and it still looks freaking awesome. And it's a little bit different because it has tie straps, but it's still crossed back with like a little leather piece back there holding it together. Still really comfortable. The lipstick, yeah, one time of the year where I wear red lipstick. Nah, being serious, guys, red is like, other than purple, red is one of my favorite colors. And I do enjoy wearing it. So, 'tis the season, my friends. Let's get into this. Who's the real Santa now? Get some lights going. Partying. I just had a coffee, so I'm a little amped up. Okay. Let's do this. I want to do a short, interesting history of the milk and cookies tradition. I feel like that's something that we should learn about. So, as some children prepare for Saint Nick's arrival, and one quick little note, can I just say, Christmas is definitely not as fun when you grow up. Let's just be honest, guys. Like, it just does not feel as Christmassy at all. Not trying to be a Scrooge, but it's just something that I'm coming to realize. It's like, Santa. It's like, if only Santa was actually a real thing, how cool would that be? Yeah, you're the real Santa until you eat all the cookies. There was a really funny meme or a comic going around here in Canada right now. Is someone made a comic with Santa and Mrs. Claus, and Mrs. Claus is like, don't you eat any of the cookies up in Canada because they're gonna have marijuana in it. Hilarious. So be careful, revolving potato. You don't want to be driving that sleigh under the influence. Daddy, you're so stuffed. What did you eat? I know, right? Like, we grow up as kids just being told about this figurative person who we only see really at the mall or maybe at a family function if someone dresses up as Santa. And then it's all a lie. Like, how dare we get lied to for so long in our childhood just to realize that it's not even a thing. We were talking about that at work the other day, and it's like, well, maybe that teaches us to have like lower expectations and to maybe not believe everything that everyone says. Hilarious. So that's my little tidbit on Santa today, guys. I wish he was a real thing. And I'm sorry to any kids that are watching. Big Chonk. How's it going, Sam? Okay, so history of the milk and cookies tradition. Where did this come from? Why is this a thing? So as some children prepare for St. Nick's arrival, many will perch cookies and a glass of milk on the hearth, while others will simply leave Santa's goodies on an end table. So who of you in here left out cookies and milk for Santa when you were younger? Or do you still do that? In Denmark, you celebrate Christmas today. Slow roasted pork belly, whole duck, sugar caramel, pan-fried potatoes, white potatoes, and sauce and chips. That sounds amazing, Daddy. Oh, roasted pork belly and duck? I'm coming over. Ah, yeah, and herring. Yeah, we are serving roll mops at work right now with the herring that we got in fresh 2 weeks ago. So that was my first time kind of playing around with herring as well. And then we pickled it and brined it, and now we're serving really nice little roll mops with everything homemade. You never did, Sam. You never left cookies out. Sammy is at work, guys, so it's just me. Yeah, Sammy's working an 11 to 5 shift today. And then he's meeting us at Grams later for dinner downtown. Oh, yeah, revolving potatoes. So that's who ate all the cookies that we left out. It was you. DJ Toilet, welcome in. You came from Makawaka, shout out. Well, thanks, Makawaka, and welcome in. Since you did 2 ducks, you didn't just do 1 duck. Let's do 2 while we're at it, Daddy. You collected about 2 cups of pure duck fat. Oh my goodness. The things that you're gonna cook with that duck fat. I know, working on Christmas Eve, right? But at least you get time and a half. So at least he's getting paid for it, and it's only like a 6-hour shift. But you know what? At the same time, it's like, I wish I could have spent the day with Sammy. But that's all right. This has been one of the most relaxing Christmases for both of us in a long time, so we'll take it. You posted some in Discord. Okay. Sounds great. Okay, back to our history. So it says, either way, most parents are excited to have an excuse to snack on sweets late into the evening as they wrap gifts. However, this is an American tradition, and other cookies have their own version. What? Here are some interesting facts about the milk and cookies Christmas tradition. You don't know if he's in chat. You blocked him 5 months ago. Daddy, you had 7 people over, including you. 2 ducks should surely feed 7 people. plus the pork belly, please tell me that there's leftovers and send them my way. So according to history.com, the modern tradition can be traced back to the Great Depression in the 1930s. So in the Great Depression, this tradition of leaving out cookies and milk came to be, even when people had nothing. Parents wanted to teach their children the value of charity, so they baked chocolate chip cookies to place in stockings and poured a glass of milk for Santa, a typical childhood treat. Who can even resist chocolate chip cookies and milk at any time? If you say no to that, might be something wrong. You might want to get yourself checked. There is leftovers tomorrow. I've never had a Christmas where I've had leftover duck instead of turkey. I'm thinking about leftover duck sandwiches. Sounds really good, Daddy. Thanks for the follow, DJ Toilet. Yeah, you tell Stream Elements. They always want to get into our stuff, hey? It's like, how dare you thank him before I did? So, for more than 80 years, children have been leaving cookies and milk out for the jolly man. History points out, however, that this tradition is a derivative of Norse mythology. Odin, a Norse god, rode upon Sleipnir, his 8-legged horse. Crazy. Octo horse. Just imagine that, guys. During the Yule season, children left carrots and other treats for the horse with the hope that Odin would recognize their altruism and give out gifts for the act. So some people leave out treats for an octo horse. This is a thing. Much more believable than Santa. Let's just say that. Yes, Millie, how are you? Yeah, we don't trust robots. Maybe one day Stream Elements will actually take over the stream. How's it going, Millie? So according to an article in The New Yorker, author John Michaud notes that Toll House chocolate chip cookies were invented in the 1930s. Even though chocolate was in short supply and rationed sharply, women were encouraged to make chocolate chip cookies to send to their husbands or lovers overseas, as even the smallest dose of chocolate provided a sweet distraction from financial woes on the home front. This train of thought evolved to meet the holidays. In Ireland, children offer Santa Guinness and cookies, while children from Great Britain and Australia are known to give sherry and mincemeat pies. Germany avoids foods altogether by writing letters to the representation of the Christmas spirit, Christkind, decorated to catch its eye. And then the Swedes feed Santa hearty rice porridge. Oh, poor Santa. He's like, porridge? What is this? I like that. That's a nice little history. The octo horse, though, this is something new. Yeah, Sleipnir, octo horse, exactly. Daddy, tomorrow it's pan-fried white potatoes and duck fat. Obviously. With duck meat and fried egg on the side. Yum. In English, it's called pittipana. It's a hodgepodge of food similar to a hash. That sounds amazing, dude. What a great Christmas breakfast. You know what I'm having for breakfast tomorrow is something called wife saver casserole. And this is something I've had for breakfast every single Christmas morning since I can remember. And my dad always makes it the day before. Even though the rest of my family is not in this province with us, at least I get to spend it with Sammy, my parents, and my grandparents. That's definitely better than being with none of my family. You get down with distracting yourself by eating cookies. Yes, Yeah, Swedes need to up their game. Let's go. Bye, Berserk. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas. And I'm not going to be on tomorrow, so maybe I'll catch you on Boxing Day. We're doing rotisserie lamb. Wife saver. It is the casserole that saves wives. Or lives. It might save lives as well. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to get into today is baking the banana bread. We're okay. I have to watch the time because we also have to cook some salmon for dinner tonight. But I think we should bake the banana bread first and get that cooling, and then we can prep the salmon. Because I don't think the banana bread will take too long to prepare. And then the Irish cream is so simple. All you do is blend it up in a blender. There is no heating involved, no nothing. So we'll do that near the end. Okay, this is the recipe that I'm using for the muffins today. Soupins, Cupins, thank you for the follow. So check out that recipe. Just gonna grab some butterscotch chippets. So instead of the chocolate chips, we're gonna be using the butterscotch chippets today for a little bit of a different flavor. And then we're still gonna be putting walnuts in there as well. It says ready in 35 minutes. We're gonna be making 12 muffins or around that size. And I'm just gonna follow the recipe basically to a T. And the awesome thing with banana bread is you don't need like a stand mixer or even a hand mixer of any sort. Everything just gets mixed by hand. And that is actually called a quick bread because it gets leavening from usually baking soda or baking powder instead of whipping the eggs and the butter. Dobbinator, what's up? Welcome in. Makawaka, just dragging everyone in. Welcome, guys. And thank you so much, Makawaka. Just spreading the love on Twitch, hey? 'Tis the season. Thanks for the follow, Dobby. Okay, so we need 3 medium, very ripe bananas. And I can assure you that these bananas are very ripe. I'm actually almost worried about them. Really pushed them to their limit. If you guys can see this. But I think we'll be all right. And then I'm gonna grab out some buttermilk and eggs that I see that we need there. And that is it for wet ingredients. Is there even butter or oil? There is not actually any butter or oil, so this is actually somewhat healthy-ish. Caster Troy. I do not have an NYC command. But the plan is for the New York stream, if that's what you're wondering what's going on. So I have a longtime viewer that lives right downtown in New York City. And I really want to go visit him. I've always wanted to go to New York. So for me, being someone from Canada, it's very hard for us to IRL stream. Just because of the way that our internet stuff is set up, there is no unlimited data. But I will be grabbing a special SIM card to put into a phone, and I've made some camera upgrades so that I'm planning to do an IRL stream on the way to New York, during New York, and obviously on the way home, because New York is a food mecca. So for me to take time to spend it with you guys and share with you the crazy amount of amazing food that's in New York, I think that would be a really interesting stream. And that is what I hope to be able to accomplish in the new year, is to travel a little bit more with you guys and explore and even show you my area that is around here, because it's so beautiful. And I just don't think that there is enough of that So we're halfway to the amount of donations that we need for that stream, and I think we are going to get there since we made it about halfway within 2 weeks. And please do not feel pressure to donate to this. This is just something that I thought a lot of you guys would enjoy. And why not explore together, since I only have time off in February and October. So I thought I would make the most of that time off and also spend it with you guys. You got to give me spots to check out. Yes. Your boss used to manage a cigar lounge and another restaurant. That's amazing. Yeah, feel free to post any suggestions for New York, because I'm seriously so excited for this. We're going to do so much stuff. It's going to be hours and hours of streams and eating and chatting and exploring. TV Star Boy, you can go elsewhere with your Ligma. Not falling for it, brah. Okay, back to our banana bread. So our dry ingredients, we need white sugar and brown sugar. Nice little half and half mix. That way we get a little caramelization flavor from the brown sugar. And we also need flour and baking soda. Oh my God, you got me there. Never heard that one before, TV Star Boy. Just so you know, you're gonna get coal for Christmas. Better watch out. Santa's watching, man. Really want to mess around with that right now? Hey, Adrian. How's it going? Welcome, welcome. And today on stream, we have poop bananas. Yes, yes, potato. You tell him. Yeah, these are ripe. Maybe too ripe. We shall see. Okay, we got our sugars, baking soda, flour. We need salt, salt and nuts. Not salty nuts, salt and nuts. I'm going into the freezer. Oh God. The nuts don't want to come out though. Whew. So going into the freezer for the nuts, because that is the best place to keep nuts. If you guys didn't know that, is nuts have a lot of oil in them, which makes them go rancid, which means that they just go sour and they're not good anymore, and they get this really kind of bitter, just not good flavor. So to slow down that process, always keep your nuts cold. Nobody wants hot nuts. These nuts. See, I'm all gold for that one, Dobby. Like, you come in with these nuts, I'm in. But Ligma balls, come on, man. You leave that for Ninja. Got him, Lidl. What are my thoughts on keeping bread in the fridge? It's hard to say. Like, you can go either way. Some people say never put the bread in the fridge. Others are like, oh, you must put the bread in the fridge. But you know what I do, Millie, is keep it in the freezer as well. And if you toast it up in a toaster from frozen, it doesn't take any longer, I find. So that's what I've always grown up with, is like buying a fresh loaf of bread that's sliced and put it in the freezer. But there is instances where I do put bread in the fridge, especially if it is like a richer style bread, like a brioche that has eggs and butter in it. Just find that it keeps a little bit longer. As long as you keep it covered and like airtight, nothing bad is going to happen in the fridge. Obviously, if you leave it open, the circulation of the air in the fridge is going to dry it out really fast. Adrian, thanks for the follow, man. Aw, thanks, Dobby. Yeah, I went with the curls today, guys. They're out of control. Okay, so we have all of the stuff we need. So first things first, we got to preheat the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And that way, by the time we're done mixing this all up, should be nice and hot. Cupins, you got to get going. Well, thank you for popping in for the short amount of time. I hope you have a wonderful Christmas, and I'll catch you again another time. 420 Blazing Ninja Turtle. Epic. I like where your guys are going with that. Okay, so we got our oven preheating. It says, lightly coat 12 muffin tin liners with cooking spray and place them in the muffin tin. Okay. We're going to follow this step by step, guys. I know this is a rare thing. Move over, bananas. Hurry up. Don't rush me, I'll crumble under the pressure. Okay, so we're making large and in charge muffins. I did have Christmassy muffin liners somewhere, but I really have no idea where they went, guys, so we're rolling with white. And I know this is not that Christmassy of a dessert, but do you really care? Like, I never complain when someone does bacon. A robot muffin? Quick little spritz. Because you know what? I think this is definitely a necessary thing when making muffins or even cupcakes, is having it sprayed. I hate when you try to peel away the muffin liner and it peels off like half of the muffin with it. You're like, oh, well, that wasn't good. So I'm with this. I get it. Especially since the recipe we're using doesn't have any extra oil or butter in the recipe. These probably would be prone to sticking quite easily. Kyle! Welcome! You can't wait till Christmas. Don't be sad that you're going to bed. Like when I was younger, I would be so pumped when it was bedtime on Christmas Eve because that means you get to see Santa sooner. Don't worry, man. I hope you have a wonderful Christmas. And thanks for just popping in and saying, hey. Yeah, I always got so pumped. It's like, okay, I'll go to bed. Because that means I get presents sooner. My parents tricked me. They got me, guys. So, next step. In a large bowl, mash bananas with a fork. So we only need 3 of those bananas. And then we whisk in the eggs, milk, sugar, and brown sugar. And that is all that the recipe says for directions. So the other step, thank gosh, guys, I know how to make banana bread, is just mixing together the dry ingredients and then mixing the wet into the dry. That's it. Who the heck makes a recipe with only 3 directions and leaves half of it to be determined? You started sweating and turning over and over because you get so exhausted. You're getting anxious for Santa? Man, you're too early to have anxiety like that. Looking for bowls that aren't in the cupboard. Because they're in the dishwasher. Go to sleep, little child. All will be okay. Maka Waka, do you regret going into your parents' closet and looking at what they had? I think I maybe did that once and then totally regretted it. I was like, why did I do this? Like, this is totally not as fun now. You only do that once until you're like, yep, I see why they said don't peek. R. Kelly. I know, this is an old school Pyrex bowl set that I got from my mom. So there's 4 bowls. There's a big blue one, this red one, and there's a yellow and a green. And she regrets giving them to me. And she actually looked them up to see if she can get them elsewhere. And they're like $200 now to get the same bowls. It's like, oh, well, they're mine. All mine. Yeah, it's Pyrex. Definitely has seen some stuff. Still in pretty good condition, though. Okay, sounds good, Adrian. I hope you have a wonderful Christmas as well. And it's great to have new people in here. Okay, let's get into these bananas. Bananas. They're gonna be so ripe. Let's just do this. So I'm doing the wet stuff in the smaller bowl because we're gonna be mixing everything in the bigger red bowl. And so you want your bananas to be really ripe, but obviously you don't want them to be moldy at all. And I think we are okay. Oh, I know it's a pecan sandy. I noticed that Maka Waka, and I was like, I'm in. 10 out of 10 would eat. You guys know I love pecans. Sammy is at worky. Sad to say. I'll be seeing him a little bit later today, around 5 p.m. But yeah, I'm a little sad that I didn't get to spend the day with him, but that's all right. Intermediation. We are making butterscotch walnut banana muffins. Maybe for Santa, maybe for ourselves. We'll see. And then after this, we are going to be making some homemade Irish cream. So if you guys like Baileys and coffee, stay tuned. Because I have never made homemade Irish cream before. And I really want to see the difference. Okay, so this is our first step here, guys. They said mash it with a fork, but I'm just going to use a potato masher. I feel like it is a little bit easier. And that's why you want your bananas really, really ripe, is so that they mash up easily. And I'm actually one of those people that like nice banana chunks in the muffins or the bread. But it looks like these are just going to be a little soupy anyways. Boop. Mashed. That was easy. Banana smash. Okay, so we need, it says I think we only need 1 egg. This is craziness. So bananas are really good to use as like a binder in baking. So you can kind of intertwine them if you don't have as much eggs for any recipe. You can use banana. Just, it will add a little bit of extra sweetness too, so be careful with that. So we only need 1 egg, which is perfect. And I'm gonna guess it's gonna be 1 large chicken egg. So let's get that into there. Hey, Indog. How are you doing? That's a cute little emote. It's like me. Hi. Okay, so whisk in our egg, as well as the milk and sugar. So after we put our egg into here, we need 1/3 of a cup of either milk or buttermilk, and then 1/2 cup each of the sugars. Get the cup measure. It's Makawaka. Makawaka. Yeah, that name is really fun to say. Kudos to you. I'm gonna switch to a whisk. Make sure mostly that it's the egg white that is fully incorporated. You don't want like a big chunk of egg white in there still. You can give that a good little whisk like so. And then 1/3 of a cup. I'm gonna use buttermilk since I had it left over from our pancakes yesterday, and actually just give it a little shake because it's pretty thick. It used to be a macaque the fruit. You got tired of it. Yes, it's actually a fruit, but it also sounds dirty. Yeah, macaque. And it also tastes sour. I don't think I ever had that when I was in Thailand. I had rambutan and lychee and stuff like that, but I've never heard of that one. Stream a couple you watch and mod for called Awkward's Travel. Tried it on stream, and did they enjoy it? Okay, so 1/2 cup of each sugar. Not really. One other thing, fruit that I haven't tried yet is durian. Just simply because I'm terrified of it. Terrified of durian, guys. Guilty. Yes. Yeah, I'm now hiring a professional taste tester. You will get rewarded with food as your wage. Durian isn't scary. Its reputation precedes its actual taste. That's what I hear. Like I'm sure I would enjoy like the ice cream or something like that. Some kind of preparation along those lines, but I would still have to try it just on its own as well. Just 'cause you have to. Okay, so we're gonna whisk in the buttermilk and the sugars into the bananas. And there's not even any vanilla in this recipe. This is craziness. So I'm gonna add a touch of vanilla into the wet stuff at this point, just because I know it's gonna make it better. It's the smell. Yeah, totally the smell. Can you be paid in cookies? This can be arranged. And that's actually a thing in restaurants, guys. is it's called a stage, where you go into a restaurant. You don't get paid for your work, but you do get paid in food. So you'll always get like a meal and a drink after your shift, even though you worked for free. And to me, like, that's still an all right arrangement. Let's do like a teaspoon of vanilla. Not too much, but just bump up the flavor a bit. Oh, you know my vanilla is special. This is like very cherished, Millie. So check out the brand name. It's called Nielsen Massey. And it is Madagascar bourbon vanilla paste. So that's why it's really thick. It's basically just the vanilla bean. And I know you guys will think I'm crazy, but this whole bottle costs about $120. I've had it for over a year now. You can get it on Amazon, but like I've had it for over a year, barely made a dent in this. Like these are the things that if you buy in big quantities, you have to realize that it's not going to go bad. So for me to buy this much and for it to last probably 3 years, let's say, makes sense in my mind. Because vanilla is expensive, but that's one ingredient that you want to be really good. And that's something that I literally just cannot part with. Like, I need that brand or nothing. And I think it's fair for me to be picky about that stuff. Okay, so there's our wet stuff. Let's work into our dry. Yeah, exactly. Like $100 for that bottle is fair. Yeah, you can basically use half of the amount of like a regular vanilla extract compared to that. So that's why I literally only put a couple drops and you're good. Like that is the most vanilla-y vanilla you'll ever get. So check it out, guys. They do sell smaller bottles as well, so you don't need that much. But I promise you will not be disappointed. Okay, moving into our flour, we need 1.5 cups. I'm just using an all-purpose flour. Touch more. Hey, Pete. How's it going, man? Welcome in. Next up, going in here, we shall not forget the baking soda. That's what's going to give us our rise. We only need a teaspoon of this and also a teaspoon of salt. So one of each. This is a half teaspoon measure, so I'll do 2. Oh, spilling half of it on the board. Get our salt, and once again for baking, you want a nice fine salt so that it can get distributed all over. You don't want too coarse of a salt. And okay, so it says only 2 to 3 tablespoons of chocolate chips, and we're using the butterscotch chips, and I don't know if that's enough. 2 to 3 tablespoons. I think we need to get a little bit more in there. Thanks for the host, Pete. I am well. It's Christmas Eve, man. Feeling festive. These things are deadly, my friends. Like this is one thing that I could just sit and snack on. Just the smell. Holy shit. Put them away. And I've never made a banana bread with these. So I'm pretty excited to see how it's gonna turn out. Probably gonna be like more of a salted caramel rote. I think. So there's our chips. We're not going to mix them in just yet. And then our walnuts. So it says 2 tablespoons of chopped walnuts. Which, once again, is not that much. I think we should go a little bit more. It's like, if you say that you're gonna have nuts and chocolate in it, you better have nuts and chocolate in it. So let's do something like that. Load it up. Thanks for the follow. Intermediation. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Thank you. Okay, so I'm just gonna give these a quick little choppy chop. This, Pete, is going to be banana muffins with butterscotch and walnuts. Putting my own little spin on it for Santa. May not be cookies, but I think it's still better than rice porridge, which Santa gets in some countries around the world. I'm not gonna go too fine with the walnuts either. I want like a nice crunch from them. Hey Steam, welcome in. How is it going? I think I'm gonna pour the walnuts into the bowl right now. Good to see you guys on Christmas Eve. I wasn't sure how many people were gonna be around, but then at the same time I'm like, well, what the heck else are we gonna be doing on Christmas Eve? Just waiting for Santa, that's about it. Okay, so we have our wet and our dry. Just gonna knock off some of that wet stuff. And then we're just gonna give this a little whisk. And you know what? I don't even think we'll be able to whisk this stuff in. I'm gonna switch to a spoon because I know that the whisk is gonna get all bunged up. But we just wanted to kind of mix in the baking soda and salt into the flour. It's pretty important to get it all distributed. And I think the one I'm looking for is in there. This is not the droid that you're looking for. Did we lose our music? Music? Are you here? There was music. Did you not even hear it? I had it too low anyways. There was music. It died. Just have it on like a live YouTube channel. Nope. Well, I guess I'm just enjoying the music on my own then. Okay, I'll turn it up a touch then. So the wet is going into the dry, my friends. Basically, very similar way that we made the pancakes yesterday. So think about that. I wonder if banana bread batter would cook up like a pancake. You guys hear the music now? The only music is the sound of my knife. ASMR it is then. It's Tig! Merry Christmas, guys! I hope you have a wonderful time with the fam. I hope Santa's good to you. Thanks for popping in and saying hey. I'll be headed out to my fam at around 3 p.m. here today. So we don't have too long of a stream. So now I kind of just mixed in the wet to the dry and then added the chips. But here's the thing with quick breads, guys, is you don't want to overmix them too much. You want to just mix it. So kind of same thing with pancakes again. Kind of doing the folding motion now because I'm just trying to scoop underneath because I know that flour likes to hide right under the middle part there. Just kind of fold it on top of itself and I think we're good. It's okay if you see a couple little floury bits. Totally fine, guys. Okay, now we can fill up the pan. It's supposed to only make 12, so we'll see. If I have to do a couple extra muffins, I will. Can you guys hear the music now? So now let's try and dish these out and not make too much of a mess. Yeah, quick bread 101. But here's the thing. Okay, so we probably will have some extra because you don't want to fill the muffin tin all the way to the top. Usually it's only like a 2/3 filled with batter sort of thing because it will rise, right? And sometimes when it rises, it just kind of splooshes all over instead of going up. So we want to be careful with that. So I'm probably going to take some out of that first one. Merry Christmas Eve, but oh, it's so happy to see you in here. Hope you guys have a wonderful time with the fam. But are you guys leaving cookies and stuff out for Santa? You're having prime rib at your in-laws tomorrow. Sounds delicious. We're feasting, guys. Yeah, prime rib. Ooh. Oh, you're leaving a gingerbread house out for Santa. That's really cute. Did the kiddos make it? Don't forget the horseradish. But I hate horseradish. Yeah, that is one thing that like you either love or hate with prime rib. I quite enjoy horseradish. You know what, guys? We're gonna push the limits here. Simply because I don't feel like putting that small amount into like one muffin. Unless you feel like that's not a waste. I think we're just gonna make big muffins. We'll push the limits. If they go everywhere, they go everywhere. But I have faith. You just built the walls. Yeah, you gotta let it set before you can put the roof on. That's amazing. I love doing gingerbread houses. There's a bakery back home where I grew up that did the entire Hogwarts castle. It looks amazing. That's some commitment for sure, guys. Okay. Banana, butterscotch, walnut, muffins. Say that 5 times fast. Banana, butterscotch, walnut, muffins. Actually, not that hard. And our oven is ready. It's at 350 Fahrenheit. We preheated it before we started to mix this all together. Let's see if the recipe tells us how long we should bake it for. Because I don't think it does. Reviews. It says it only takes about 25 minutes. So I'm gonna do 20 minutes in my oven because I know it bakes a little bit hotter. So 20 minutes. Muffins don't take quite as long to bake as like one of the full loaves or cakes. So this is like a much quicker way to do your banana bread. You just got a set of Pyrex bowls from your Christmas company raffle. Epic! That's amazing. Merry Christmas, Vune. Hope you enjoyed your time with your fam. Okay, these guys are going in the oven. 20 minutes. We'll set the timer. And then I'm just gonna do a quick little cleanup. And then I think we're going to start to dress the salmon for dinner tonight. So it's gonna take a little bit to cook, and I leave here in less than 2 hours. So the salmon's gotta go into the oven after those come out. And I think it'll time out pretty quickly. You're the proud owner of an Italian espresso machine. Congrats, Vune. Espresso machines are near and dear to my heart. You deserve it. And yes, that is the thing, man, that is something that takes time. And you should only have an espresso machine if you really love coffee. Because if you don't love coffee that much, an espresso machine is a pain in the butt for sure. One thing I will say is please, please make sure that you clean it all the time. Because over time, it will affect how your coffee tastes. Okay, lovely peeps, here are our 2 salmon sides. I'm gonna grab some herbs. And we are going to be making an herb and Meyer lemon butter to put onto this salmon while it bakes. Just gotta put a couple of their baking related things away first. Saying you love coffee is an understatement. Well, then you're set, man. I'm so happy for you. But you're now the proud owner of a dining room table and chairs. Like, Christmas is so weird when we grow up, guys. The stuff that we get excited for now. What? It's hilarious. Adulting, am I right? The first real one ever as an adult. Yeah, our table right now, is literally a folding table and chairs. But it works. Did you get a packer thing to press The coffee rounds. Oh, it should come with it, shouldn't it? J Smart, thanks for the follow. Welcome in. Vune, do you like to drink your coffee with Irish cream? Okay, so let's check these nice sides of salmon out. This is what Betty picked up for us. So, they're not Canadian. We'll just get that over with right now. They're actually from Alaska, but it's still wild. So I think that's the most important thing here. And we're definitely pretty close up to Alaska, so maybe consider it local. And they were frozen. And the awesome thing here is that they still have the skin on. And that's gonna keep the salmon really moist when we go to bake it in a little bit here. And each side was $14 or around $15. In my mind, that's a pretty good price considering you pay about $25 for one small piece of fish if you're gonna go out to eat. So think of it that way. You remember spending an afternoon watching coffee competitions? Yes! I have gone to a coffee kind of trade show where they had those competitions. So entertaining to watch. I could watch that all day as well. The one that came with the machine is plastic. Vune. You're gonna get yellow lamps for the living room. Okay, let me see. You posted some stuffs. I love it. And you know what? Those chairs are so comfy. Already shopping for mods. That's expected. So I'm going to line this sheet pan with parchment. And we might actually, they will just fit on here. Just fit. I love the yellow though. That's like so you. Plus a wooden platter. Oh, that sounds really good, but I love little wood accents like that. The salmon. Yeah, the color on the salmon looks so good, hey? I don't know if it says what kind it is. Oh, it is coho. So that's a really good type of salmon. It's not super strong. A new tamper and a new sieve. Well, if that's all you have to get, well, that's not that bad, Vune. The kitchen is a mess. Who cares? Kitchens are supposed to be used. Doesn't always have to be perfect. And there's probably gonna be a little bit of moisture on here when I open it up, so I'm just gonna grab some paper towel to kind of soak that up before we put that on. Yeah, but that's such a great way to brighten up the space, is just like one little accent color like that is perfect. And yellow, how could you not feel bright and cheery? Smells pretty fresh. If it wasn't fresh, it would feel like slimy and weird. But that's a very nice salmon fillet, actually. There's only a couple parts. See, like, for me, I'm picky about that because that means whoever was butchering it made a slit in it. Here, this is just the flesh kind of tearing apart. But other than this little nick there, pretty good side. Just give it a little pat down and you can see how much moisture was in there. That's just because it was vacuum sealed, so all of the juice that is released from the fish is going to be stuck in that bag. Oh yeah, what kind of coffee grinder do you have, Yoon? The pics in Discord. Okay, I'll check it once my hands are not fishy. This is actually quite a bit of salmon to be cooking. There will be leftovers. What? And you got a new bed? Yeah, you're finally feeling recovered after the losses. Oh, you deserve it, but you guys have been through some shit. Posted pics of the bedroom. Okay, guys. Oh, I love this. See, Christmas keeps us young. Like, we still get excited for those hilarious little adult gifts. And we still share the stuff with our friends, our interweb friends, because we're excited about it. And we know that they care as well. Okay, just washing up my fish pans. We're halfway through the baking of the muffins. Oh yeah, the cat fur. Yeah, literally every time I lay on top of my bed, I'm covered in dog hair. And it's like, oh yeah, there's a dog here. Ah, nice view. DeLonghi. That's the cutest little espresso maker. And wow, but I love the like nice light pink colors. And you have all of your figurines set up in the room too. It looks so good. It's really spacious. I know, it looks so comfy, hey? She ground it too fine. Seriously? This is what I use, Vune. This little guy is seriously the best. Just like a little Bodum grinder. And then it has the settings. So I made like a little espresso this morning on my stovetop one. So I set it obviously more fine for that, and then when I do French press I can set it more coarse, and then it also has the seconds. It's legit. I would say this is really good. I've been using that for a couple years now. How much was that? So here's the story about that. Is we didn't actually buy this, the grinder, when we were still in Vancouver. That grinder sat in a parcel box in the lobby of our building for over 2 weeks without anyone picking it up. So I come home one day and Sam has this grinder upstairs. I'm like, what is this? Like, where did you get this? He's like, oh, I just like took the parcel. I was like, what? That's terrible. But obviously that person moved out and there was no way for them to get that package. So that's how that is. That's like, I don't know if that's thievery or not. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about the grinder yet, but all I can say, Vune, is that it works really well. It fell off the truck. Sorry for being honest, guys. Feel free to judge. Okay, so we're gonna make up a butter. So we just need to kind of melt this a little bit so that we can mix in the chopped herbs and some lemon zest. Yeah, probably technically theft. Totally is. We got in shit totally from my parents about it. No, no, no. Norges. What do you mean, what is this? What you mean, man? Oh, the muffins look good, guys. There's no lava explosion in the oven yet. We're good. It's a Bodum grinder. Yeah, it is. Oh, did you post the link? Yep, that's the one. The Bistro Burr. What? They put it in copper? Is it super cheap? It's so good. So 2 sides of salmon, about half a cup of butter. Why not? If there's leftover butter, you can use it for other stuff like roasting potatoes or sauteing vegetables. So it's not like I'm worried about just having to throw this out afterwards. So we're just gonna pop it into Chef Mike for maybe 30 seconds to soften it up so we can mix some stuff in. Norges, how are you, man? Good to see you on this Christmas Eve. All the snobs on the coffee forums. Of course, Vioon, of course they would say that. Josias, welcome in. Yeah, this little Bodum thing, awesome. It sounds good too. I will say that. So we got some fresh parsley. Just watching the microwave. So she's gonna beep at us. And I will have none of it. So just kind of starting to melt. But that'll come back to us. So parsley. And some dill. Good thing I'm using this up because it doesn't look too good anymore. We were gonna smoke these salmon sides, but the weather is too meh today to comfortably do that outside. So I said, I'll just bake them nice and low and slow in the oven and do a nice butter. It'll be just as good. Let's just pick through our sad dill right now. Very sad dill. But dill is one of the herbs that goes bad really fast, so I knew it was gonna do this. Yeah, Millie, resident grinder expert. You can get away with a cheaper grinder if you have a size sifter. Norges, you're done with the celebration and gift shenanigans, so that's good. One more gift to go, but that will be gifted during the holidays. Nice. Yeah, it's always such a large build-up, hey? Leading up to Christmas and like giving gifts and spending the day. That when it's finally over, you're like just like, ugh. So relaxed, finally. But the one good part about Christmas when you get older is that there is alcohol to help those overwhelmed feelings. Take the edge off a touch. You got grinder for beans and flowers? Haha, yeah you did. Clinkin McLeod. You did all your Christmas shopping on Friday. Wow. As last minute as possible. Since your first get-together was Saturday. That's epic. I've done that a couple years before too, but I don't like that feeling. of like trying to rush and find something, because what if you don't find what you're looking for? So I only did that a couple times and I was like, nope, not doing that again. I know. It's like, oh, we'll be fine. We'll just push it to like the 21st of December. No problem. But then the malls and like all the stores get so much busier coming up to Christmas as well that you just kind of waste your own time. It's like, well, that was not worth it. The one time where procrastinating does not pay off. Guys, we got a minute and a half before our timer beeps for our muffins. There we go. I'm gonna check this now before we get started. I think they might need a touch longer just by giving a little look-see at them. But dang, they smell so good. I'm actually really happy that we topped them up because look at guys. So we just need a little bit more color, I think. So I'm gonna go maybe 3 more minutes. And I'm also gonna rotate the pan. And then I think we're good. So in those 3 minutes, we're gonna chop up our herbs. You go to the big mall there every Friday for the kids to play. Ah, and for the Pokestops. F yeah. So the trip was productive. Oh, well that's all right then. Yeah, there are some malls that have such awesome play areas for kids. Such a smart thing to do, honestly. Yes, Pete. Get in my belly. So I'm gonna chop the herbs for the butter pretty fine. Just so we can get as much flavor out of them as possible. If you were a muffin, you would totally hit on my muffins. Yes! I'll take that as a compliment. Yeah, it's a little weird sounding, but we'll roll with it. Oh, that's what you were trying to say, Ice. Happy Hanukkah. I got a little worried there. You're trying to troll me or something. Okay, moving into our parsley. Crux. What's up? The fish goes where in here? This is a little extra something something that I had to make for the fam for dinner. It's kind of like a last minute thing. That was not in the menu. Vune is not having any of it. Doesn't even pick up on the trolls. He did wish a happy Hanukkah, so I thought maybe he would come back, but it's fine. We can maybe chalk that one up as a loss. It just hasn't happened in so long. Okay, nice finely chopped parsley. And the muffin timer. Oh, those are perfect. Okay. It smells so good. And I don't know if you can see that, but there is like nice fatty bubbles coming out of like some of the butterscotch parts. But if I feel the top, it bounces back. So that's how I know that they are completely cooked. So if you touch the top and your finger doesn't leave an indent and it kind of just comes back up, you're good to go. So I'm gonna put those on a rack to cool off. And then I'm gonna turn the oven way, way down. And by way, way down, I mean like 250 Fahrenheit. So we're gonna cook the salmon really low and slow to just bring it up slowly, and that way we won't dry it out at all. Just because this is a Pacific salmon, not an Atlantic, and Pacific salmon is much less fatty than the Atlantic, so we have to be careful to not dry it out as we cook it, which is why we're also going to be brushing on butter as it cooks. This knife, Pete, I actually don't know what it goes for at this point, but this is something that Sammy gave me as a gift. So I'm not sure what the price is on it, but check out that link. It's a great feeling to hit the ban button. You guys are hilarious. It's the holidays, gotta hand out some bans. This is why you're my favorite. All of you. Okay, so now, Meyer lemon. We're going in with some zest. This is the most flavorful part of a lemon. We don't necessarily want the acidity from the juice of the lemon, but we do want the flavor of the zest. It's cheaper on Amazon than the site. That is happening a lot nowadays, but Amazon just has this crazy monopoly over the whole world, and I am honestly not complaining about that. Like, let's be honest. Usually Amazon is one of the first places you go to if you're looking for something online. At least I know I do. It just makes sense. Especially for me, where I live like a little bit more in a remote area. It's like it takes me more time to go out to the mall than to just quickly find something online. I'm gonna get a spoon. We're gonna mix this up. I'm just gonna keep this really simple, guys. So dill, parsley, and lemon zest. And our butter is nice and soft. It's gonna be very herbaceous. How do you feel about the 10-inch knives? I don't use large knives too much. They're good for some stuff, but I think it would be just too large for me to handle properly. This looks delicious. Merry Christmas, Monastache! Hope you guys have some wonderful holidays together, however you're spending it. I'm gonna give this just a little taste. So, it's not super strong tasting right now, but because this is gonna get heated up in the oven, it's gonna draw out more of that herbaceous flavor. So obviously, once you heat something and the oils warm up, that's where you're gonna get the flavor from. So I think first thing we're gonna do is sprinkle on some salt. And you know what? Actually, I might give it a little trim. I'm feeling kind of partial to just taking this little bit off. It's just kind of bugging me, and I see that there is a little bone here as well. So let's just give it a little trim, but we're just taking that kind of skin off there. We don't really have to trim up the belly too much because it's not that thin. Hey, Tabatai. Haha, so far, so good. You're watching me right now. Ah! Merry Christmas, guys. And we got Rook. Merry Christmas, Rook. And I like black pepper on salmon, so we'll be putting some pepper as well. Actually, Kate says she's gonna trim it up. Goes to not actually trim it. Focus. Focus, please. So I'm just gonna try and take off that little bit. We'll see. Probably doesn't really matter that much. Probably just me being really picky as a chef, but definitely gonna take out this one bone. We don't want that. You bought yourself a Bob Kramer. Okay, I have one clean finger to click on that link. Ooh, that looks really cool. I don't know if this effort's gonna be worth it, guys. I don't even know if it's actually like a skin more than just like a little extra layer of fat, because I can kind of just peel it off as well. So I'm just gonna leave it. By the time it cooks, you won't even notice it. So I feel like I'm nitpicking for nothing. Times where I catch myself being too picky. You're headed out, Makawaka. Merry Christmas to you. Hope Santa is good. And I will hopefully catch you on Boxing Day will be the next stream. Everyone enjoy your time tomorrow, however you want to spend it. Kevin, you're Sue. You're my sous chef now? Welcome in. Thanks for the follow. Okay, so generous sprinkling of salt because this is a pretty large piece of fish. So I try to put it on in one nice fine layer. And what's gonna help that is me going higher up from the fish. So the higher you go, the more surface area you're able to hit. So that's how you get a nice even sprinkling. So I'll do it in like nice kind of thin layers so the fish absorbs it quicker. And then I'll probably top up a bit. So where the fish is more thin, like the tail and the belly here, not as much salt. Where it's nice and thick here, the top part of the fillet, need a little bit more salt for sure. Just to be sure that you season the flesh all the way through. And the amount of salt to use is just something that you will learn over time. Since every piece of fish is different, I can't say like, oh, use 2 tablespoons. Because some pieces of salmon are much thicker, some are thinner, and that can just lead you guys in the wrong direction. But if you pay attention to kind of how much I'm sprinkling on, then you'll kind of get the gist of it. And if you're really unsure, always go with less than more, because you can't take it away. But you can always add more at the end. Merry Christmas to you, Kev. So now nice sprinkling of pepper And we're just gonna let this sit for a minute or two to absorb the salt before we start to rub the butter on. And I might actually soften up the butter just a touch more. So it's really easy to kind of spread and spoon over the salmon. I haven't had salmon in quite a while, so pretty excited about this. And we are having tortilla tonight at Grandma's house, but Sam and my step-grandpa don't really like it, so that's why we're preparing salmon for them. Definitely not usually something we do on Christmas, but I am all for it. Okay, just gonna pop this butter into Chef Mike for probably 15 seconds. Quick little soften. Gotta go add the roof. Okay, sounds good, but I'm probably gonna be on for max an hour more, and then I gotta head out as well. Get going to the festivities, my friends. And by soften the butter, we mean melt. Shh. Although melting the butter will probably just draw out more flavor from the herbs anyway, so I'm all right with it. We'll roll with it. Okay, so now you can see, if I hold this a little bit closer, the salmon is starting to look a little bit wet on top than before, so that's the salt kind of drawing the moisture out of the fish. So now that it's kind of going into there, now I feel okay about putting the butter on. I'm gonna put these walnuts away, back into the freezer. I noticed I left them out. And then same with the herbs and the butter real quick. Real quick, like. Sounds good, Monastache. Merry Christmas, guys. Have a wonderful time. Okay. Oh, Viyun. Oh yeah, the steak. You fried it medium rare, but it was kind of tough. That doesn't even make sense, man. Why would it even be tough? That means... So this means that I'm not a very happy cow then. That doesn't make sense though, because even with all that marbling, it was still tough. Okay, so here's our butter. Wasn't joking when I said it was melted. We'll just kind of spoon that over. And you know what? I'll spread it. Stressed out cow. I think so. So that can happen. I'm just gonna pour this now so I don't contaminate it. So meat like that, that's like well marbled, should not be tough. So that means it must have had like some sort of extra stressor when it was butchered first, which is not a good thing. That's why it's super important about how those animals are actually, let's say, killed. I'll say it, guys, because this is a thing. They died for us. So the butter is basically hardening on. It's like encasing the salmon as I pour it over. I'm just trying to get it kind of all over. This is epic. Cold fish, warm butter. Okay. Flank steak though. So flavorful, hey? Flank steak is so expensive here now. And the flank was more tender, which is totally how it should not be, Vyun. I love flank. And you didn't marinate it, or you did? Butter in the crevice, okay. You didn't. You really like the pure beef taste. Me too. I like it just simply as well. Especially if you don't eat beef that much. Like, I definitely don't eat as much beef now that I used to. The flavor is so strong. So good. Okay, so that looks nicely coated. I don't think I'm going to go too much farther than that. So now we used about half. Let's say, so now we have this half still to pour on about halfway through the cooking time. So it stays nice and moist. But I did not contaminate the spoon and put it back in the butter, just in case I wanted to use that for something else. Fleur de sel and fresh ground pepper. That's seriously all you need, man. Yeah, that is crazy that the ribeye was tough. I would honestly go back to the butcher and be like, yo, this cut was tough. Like, do you know why it would be that way? Because I think that they should know that. Hey, Ryan, welcome in. Merry Christmas. How's it going? Okay, so salmon can go into the oven now. It's preheated to 250 Fahrenheit, so nice low and slow. I'm going to set the timer for half an hour and we'll see where we're at. Now, my wonderfuls, shall we check out a muffin? Just waking up. Nice, man. Nice little sleeping. It is, it's not like super rainy here. It's just like foggy and overcast. Not the nicest of days. Okay, so here we have butterscotch banana muffins. I think we should get into here while they're still a little bit warm because I want to see how gooey the inside is. You only eat beef maybe 3 to 4 times a year. I'm so impressed, Vyun. Thank you for doing that. It helps the environment so much. You're not going to stress about it. You should. You deserve good beef. Okay, I'm going in for this little guy. I think. Actually, I'm gonna take a quick photo. Quick little photo. Your wife doesn't eat beef? She still eats chicken though? Okay. Oh yeah, you made mousse. The tiramisu mousse. Yum. Okay, guys, we're going in. So it looks like the pan spray worked for these to not stick. Watch the sides be all sticky. I think it's only sticking because of the butterscotch chips. That's a given just because they might be a little bit sweeter than the chocolate chips. Okay, let's see. Let's see how we did. It's still a little bit warm. Yeah, that looks yummy. Nom. It's perfectly cooked. It's almost like a pudding kind of texture. It's nice and soft and moist. This is good. First time using butterscotch chips and banana bread. Kind of has this like salted caramel thing going on. Really freaking good. And it's kind of nice that they didn't just like melt all the way throughout. Like you can tell that they melted, but they still kind of held together. And then we get this little crunch from the walnuts. Obviously the nutty kind of flavor as well. I would almost garnish with a little bit of salt on top. I think it could handle it because they are pretty sweet. I would also like to try with like half and half chocolate chips and butterscotch chips. I think would be really good as well, guys. But this is awesome. This turned out better than I thought they would be. Yum. Great way to use up brown bananas. And Viyun, I have to show you something. I have to show you what Betty's been up to. She went there. She made the pastry. She made the filling up. Great Canadian butter tarts. Just thought I would show you those, man. The snacks are never ending here. Okay, Irish cream. They're yummy. I have to say, there are some raisin ones and some pecan ones. Irish cream, homemade Baileys, guys. This is something that I quite enjoy to have with my coffee on Christmas morning now that I am a little bit older. And I've never made it myself. So I really wanted to try it out. And it obviously is a little bit cheaper than buying the bottle of Baileys from the store. And plus, you know everything that's going into it, which I think is pretty important. And it says the ratios of the ingredients can be tweaked according to your preference. So you can add a little bit more whiskey if you want it stronger, or a little bit less. All you need is a blender, a few ingredients that you likely already have on hand, and in less than a minute, guys, we will be sipping a rich, creamy, and velvety smooth Irish cream. And you don't just have to drink it in your coffee. Lots of people like to drink it over ice. Just a nice little sippy sip. Ooh, pour it over ice cream is also an option. And then what my aunt does is she makes a really big batch. My parents said, I think she made 12 old wine bottles full, and she gives them away to her friends at Christmas. So like, be careful if you get into making this for your friends, because then they're gonna expect that stuff. Yeah, but we did try a muffin, but luckily I only ate half. So here's what happened when we broke into it. Is the chips like, they melted but not all the way. You're getting like this kind of salted caramel thing going on, and then the crunch from the walnuts. Really good. Like, it's heavy. Definitely a heavy snack. Really satisfying. Like, I'm satisfied after just eating half of that. Yeah, she's moist. Moist for sure. So this recipe makes about 1 liter. And you can do 1 large bottle, or you can make a bunch of little small bottles to give away if you want. And you can keep it in the fridge for up to 2 months, which I really like. That also gives me a reason to drink it. So it's like, gotta have that liter gone in 2 months. Better drink it. Yeah, mod chat here. Welcome in, guys. We are safe. Let it be known, Norges. So this recipe is posted in Discord, guys. But if you are not in there, post it up for you real quick. Right there. Yeah. You better watch out. You better not cry. Mod chat is here. And they'll tell you what's up. Okay, so what we need. 1 cup of heavy cream, or half and half. Oh, Miss Obvious, welcome. Your stepdad was gifted a bunch of flavored coffee. Oh, flavored coffees, that sounds so good. That's a gift I could be down with. The Irish cream one is delicious, I bet. So 1 cup of heavy cream, 14 ounces of sweetened condensed milk. Is that 1 pan? Or 2? 300 mils. 395 grams. So kind of just over a can. Sweetened condensed milk, guys. The good stuff. And these magic cookie bars, also a good thing to make. Norges, you're trying to be nice. You got a lump of coal. Why, dude? What did you do? You have a Di Serono coffee, Frangelico, and Jack Daniels one. Sounds so good. All of those are great with coffee. We need 1 2/3 of a cup of Irish whiskey. So you can use Jameson. And I actually have to go grab that whiskey from the cabinet. This is the other ingredient that I quite enjoy. Chocolate syrup. And I pondered if I wanted to make the chocolate syrup myself. And the only thing that worried me is that it would come out kind of gritty or grainy in the Irish cream, because it's kind of hard to get chocolate to melt into things properly sometimes, especially with alcohol, is it might like kind of curdle it if I made my own ganache. So I was like, okay, the one time where I will pick up the hot fudge sauce just to be sure that it turns out properly. Yeah, microwave. Oh my God, it has a heat sensing icon. What is this even? Guys, it says, take off the cap and foil, flip the top open on the cap, heat for 30 seconds, do not exceed. What happens if you exceed that 30 seconds? The world ends. Okay, we need the vanilla. So I'll grab the vanilla out again, which is right here. Yay! Knew I needed it. And then it says a teaspoon of instant coffee. But this is where I wanted it to be like really good and not instant coffee. So I'm gonna make a very strong shot of espresso to mix into it. Yeah, it blows up pretty much. Imagine, Millie, it just disappears. And at the 31st second, the chocolate sauce is no longer in the microwave. What? Okay, going to grab the whiskey. 1 2/3 cups. I should be able to muster that up. I'll be back, guys. Hold down the fort. Salmon's doing its thing. Not worried. It smells so good in here. We got the goods. So I don't know if there was quite enough Jameson, so I brought some Jack to bump it up. Just in case. Just in case. Grab the muffins, you guys. Typical. As soon as I leave, someone's trying to tear the place apart. Norges, I thought you said you were behaving yourself. Tipsy just goes for the chocolate, hey? Hey, Maddie. How are you? I am well. Merry Christmas Eve to you. Thought I would spend a couple hours with you guys today. You took some muffins. I'll allow this. I mean, you guys are here with me, so that's the least I could do is let you take some muffins. You were just following Ryan Howe. Blame Ryan. or isn't it blame Vune? I thought that's what it was. Okay. Nope, it's not. Oh, okay. I was just checking Vune. Just making sure. You're all good. Drinking JD and Coke. That's the way to go, man. What I just took out. Except we're doing something a little different. We're making Irish cream with this. Okay, I'm grabbing the cream. The whipping cream. We need 1 cup. You went into a channel you didn't know very well a couple months back, and Blame Vune was tossed around soon after, although they had no knowledge of that. Too good, man. Hashtag Blame Vune. It just sounds good. It's just got a nice little ring to it. How could you not? The creme. Okay, 14 ounces of sweetened condensed milk. How much even is that? Okay, liquids. Luckily, I have this awesome little Pampered Chef measuring cup here to help me out. Obviously, the liquid ounce is going to be measured in the liquid. You crazy Americans with your ounces. This, though. This is the goods. Look at that. It's too much. Indominus. What about the eggnog? We made eggnog last week, or was it this week? I think we made it on Tuesday of this week. And she's all gone. I gave half to my dad because he loves eggnog. Gone within a day, guys. And that is something that I probably will make again. You feel like you failed because you couldn't get a good cup of espresso. It's your first day, man. Take it easy. This pour, though, something I am totally into. Yeah, Indominus, it was actually quite a feat to make the eggnog properly. There was a lot of whipping involved. So definitely not something that you can make by hand if you follow the recipe I use. But then my dad said he used to make eggnog all the time and just mixed it all up in a blender. So there's a couple different ways to make eggnog. But I wanted to make it the super traditional way, where you whip the yolks, the whites, and the whipping cream so it's nice and frothy. So that just took a little bit extra time. But I'm sure if you put everything in a blender, it would still be all right. A lot of whipping, but... Okay, that's the first 7 ounces worth. Haha, you got good gin to counter it. So you got into it, Vune. You'll be happy to know that I got into some of that port last night while Sammy was still at work. Really good port. And I actually can't source it. So I'm guessing my aunt got it from someone that made it themselves. It is really yummy. Black currant port, my friends. Try and get all this stuff out of here. It's so sticky. And I already have a container that I opened this morning for my coffee in the fridge, so we'll just have to bump that up with a little bit from there. You bought some Bombay Sapphire today because it was on sale. Perfect. Oh, you're hosting a gin cocktail evening. Your birthday's on Saturday? You had an uncle drop off some homemade peach moonshine? Oh, that sounds so good. I love peach. Anything peach. I am in. How is it? Have you tried it? This is like the one time a year where I kind of indulge in alcoholic drinks. Like you really need a reason though, right guys? Okay, there we go. 14 ounces of sweetened condensed milk coming at ya. Vune's gonna be vibing from all of his espresso trials. Yas. You haven't tried it yet, but he says he can't go crazy on it or it'll knock you down. Oh, that's a proper moonshine then. Jelly. Some jealousy over here, Miss Obvious. This stuff is so messy, hey? Okay, finally. I guess we gotta make a little espresso as well, hey? Your dad gave you a tiny bit of apple cider alcohol thing. Your uncle gave me like 2 inches of a Fruit Loop alcohol drink. Fruit Loop alcohol drink? What? It almost made you throw up. Oh no, Indominus. Oh no. nose. Okay, 3 tablespoons of chocolate syrup. Do we have to microwave it to get it out of the thing? I don't know what's going on with this thing. Smuckers, are you crazy? You're not even close to 21, you're under 16. Starting early. You'll be all right. It happens. Gotta enjoy those moments when you're young. It's like a little treat. Getting a sip of alcohol at a family function. You're just so grown up. So 3 tablespoons of this. It's like, I don't want to say it. It looks like poop. I don't even think I need a spoon. We'll just kind of squish out a tablespoon at a time. We'll just pretend like this didn't happen, guys. There's nothing to be seen here. Good thing I changed the channel to explicit. You tried whiskey and you almost passed out. Love it. He's gonna pass out. Nice little teaspoon of vanilla. And now I'm going to quickly brew up the coffee before I put the alcohol in, because alcohol and dairy not so happy together. So I want to make sure that I get the coffee done so that the alcohol doesn't have to sit in here. Vanilla paste, but that's the one. Nielsen Massey. There is another brand that I've used before that is just as good, but like that's the most popular one. Okay. Do a little clean up here. Hopefully I don't make too loud of a noise. Gotta do a little grindy grind. Clean out this guy from earlier. So this is my little stovetop espresso maker. Very old school Italian, so this is how it is. Just gonna take the grounds out. It's like a 1 serving thing. The coffee's ground too fine, it's really bitter. No! Okay, so the bottom piece of this is we only fill the water, if you look up to this, just below that little thing. Just below the little pressure release. And actually, I'm gonna do it a bit stronger. So I'm only gonna do a half. I'm gonna do an extra strong espresso, and then the little tray pops into there, and then I think I grind for about 8 seconds for this. So that's how that sounds, Mune. If this is the one you're looking at. It's the cutest little machine ever. So that's how that turns out. You live and you learn, it's true, man. And then the thing with this little stovetop one is you don't actually tamp down the grounds. So so you keep it nice and light. I think I'll just need a touch more in there. Maybe like 2 seconds. Good enough, I think. It's still gonna be better than instant coffee. And so now all we do is twist the top on, make sure it's nice and tight. Nice, Bune. Oh, thanks for doing that. Sen translates to money in Japanese, and then I'm just gonna post this up on the small burner, put it on high heat, and we just wait for that to brew up. And now we can measure out the alcohol since we're getting close. Put the little grinder away. I think you're gonna buy a cheap grinder. It's incredible, but people recommend on the German coffee websites. I bet. How much was this little Bodum one anyways? I didn't really look. Okay, 400 mils of Irish whiskey. Well, this is a 500 ml measure, so that's a good place to start. We will fill it up 4/5 of the way. 430 euro grinder. What? The Bodum was about 35 bucks. That makes sense. Jameson. Oh, I think we'll actually have the perfect amount. So we'll start with that. Obviously, it can't be Irish cream without the Irish whiskey. We will wait though until we put it into the dairy. We'll be patient. Ah. Okay, that's our salmon timer. Let's check it out. Let's see what's happened in the last half an hour in the oven there. So snobby. So snobby, but I had to say it. Oh. Okay. We got some cooking going on, so you can tell color of the fat there. That means it's definitely cooking. And I actually might just leave that. Just heard this guy. He's finishing up. So what the stovetop thing does is it brings all the extra or the water that you put in up through the bottom, through the grounds. That guy's done, but this salmon, if I feel it, to me, I don't want to take it too much further at this point since we're not eating for a couple hours anyways. I think that's okay. This looks really good. So that was half an hour, only at 250 Fahrenheit, and that's how quick it cooked. So I'm just gonna turn the oven off. And then that way, later, right before dinner, I can throw it back into the oven for just a couple of minutes to bring it all the way back up to temp. And it's not gonna be dry. Norges! You're not cheating on us by leaving. Don't be silly, man. Merry Christmas, dude. Enjoy the rest of your festivities. Okay, salmon's done. Feels good. The fillets, yeah, they barely shrunk. So that's the thing with cooking low heat, is we don't lose any moisture at all. It's the best. Hojerific. Holy wow, that looks good. I mean, hello. You wish your first salmon down UK that big? It's gonna be so yummy. Okay, going in with our double strong espresso instead of the instant coffee. I will not put up with that. And then 400 mils of Irish whiskey. Hello. Okay. Going over to the blender. Quick little whiz. I'm gonna start on low. Just gonna let that do its thing. The salmon looked good, thank you. The smile I had is like, there's gonna be bad things that come from this view. Bad things. A little bit louder now. Silence. How did we cook the fish? It's a great question. There we have it, my friends. Haha, with the power of love. I actually did it at a super low temp, so 250 Fahrenheit. And that was half an hour at that temp. And all we did beforehand was season with salt and pepper. And then we made a butter with dill, parsley, and lemon zest. And then we just put the butter on and baked it. Low and slow so that we keep all those wonderful juices in there and it doesn't dry out. The true test, since I don't have to drive anywhere. Cheers to not driving on Christmas Eve, guys. It's frothy. Yeah, it is. Oh, that's good. I can get down with that. Give some to mom. Oh, I will tomorrow morning. So this is what I made for us to like sip on or have in our coffee while we open presents and wait for breakfast. This is delicious, guys. Bailey's is definitely like more kind of caramelly than this, but like the chocolate does not stand out. Neither does the coffee. Just kind of makes this amazing little mixture and it tastes pretty on point compared to Bailey's. I'm happy with this and I think I would rather make this myself than buy it, to be honest. This is gonna be dangerous to have around, that's all I can say. Add some butterscotch. Oh, yeah, switch it up. Take the chocolate out and add butterscotch. Get a total different flavor. Man, you can even add, I think, a little touch of salt would be good in here too, just to kind of balance it all. But considering that this isn't even on ice and I can easily sip it, I feel good about that. And how much do we have here? So we had about 1 liter and almost half of this is alcohol, is whiskey. So be careful with this, guys. This will sneak up on you. I saved this bottle Obviously it's deceiving. But I was like, I can totally put my Irish whiskey into here.
Nice hat.
Armored!
At Charity.
Oh, thank you. Good to see you in here. Thank you for the 50 biddies for charity. How was your Christmas Eve? 1 liter. Yeah, 1 liter, 4 cups. Kind of same. Yeah, we have just enough to last a few hours. Exactly. Let's funnel this into the bottle. And then this has to stay in the fridge, guys. That's the only difference from Bailey's. Is Bailey's you can leave out. This stuff, gotta keep in the fridge. But I'm okay with making room in my fridge for this. And I think that you would be as well. I would also attempt to drink this whole batch. I could easily drink this within a day. Whether or not I felt great after that, whole different story. But this stuff is deadly. I will say that. Just make a few more batches. I would have to buy more Jameson. Irish whiskey, or sorry, Irish cream. Good to go. Just gonna pour this back in this container. And we're good, guys. Okay, so this is the time that I planned on ending anyways, since I'm leaving in about 20 minutes from now. Go to Grams for dinner. Perfect. We got to spend a couple hours together, chill out, bake some stuff, make some stuff. I think Santa's set. You know what I have to do though, is to test out this combo. So, butterscotch banana walnut muffin, coming in with a little sip of Irish cream. What's gonna happen, we don't know. Those are so good. We don't need coffee here. That's amazing, guys. That combination with like the little bit of espresso in here, all the coffee that you need. Yum. Okay, well, everything turned out just perfect today. Perfect little Christmas Eve. I'm just gonna check on Belly real quick. There's one last little take at the salmon. We're gonna go raid somebody. Lullaboo's on. Who do you guys wanna go see? Guys want to do Lullaboo? She's doing Christmas dinner prep. Green chili tamales. Or we have someone making pizza as well. Or if you guys have any suggestions, let me know. One and a half ounce of Yukon Jack Canadian whiskey, 3/4 ounce of Irish cream. Oh, that'd be a good combo. Okay, let's go do some pizza then. Let's do it. We're gonna raid cheese pizza. You guys just know me too well. Kate, raid the pizza? That's a must. Pizza is life. We're going in, my friends. So thanks everyone for the biddies today and the new follows as well. And thanks for just spending a little bit of time with me on Christmas Eve. I thought this would be a perfect thing to do, and that's exactly what it was. Hopefully I inspired you to make a couple extra treats for your friends and fam over the holidays, and I will see you guys all on Boxing Day. We're doing a rotisserie lamb stream. So have a wonderful, wonderful Christmas, however you choose to spend it. And I will see you guys in 2 days. You are inspired to make a gallon of Irish cream. Yes, I did my job then. Okay, guys, take care. Love you all. I will see you soon. Going in, get your onions ready.